I've been thinking lately that I just had this conversation actually with someone about the rhythm of cities and the internal rhythm. And I wanted to share that a little bit because I've been, thinking about it multiple times, and it came up a bunch in recent conversations. And what I find so fascinating about New York, and the people and the whole the life here really, is that for me it really matches my internal rhythm. So I feel like each person has their internal rhythm, and then each city has its own rhythm. And often you're in a place and you're like, that kind of works for me, or it's like, oh my god, that really doesn't work for me at all. And sometimes you get to a place where you're just, okay, this is it. This is exciting. This works for me. And sometimes you have no idea why. But for me, that happened with New York, and it didn't happen. I'm originally from Austria, and it didn't happen there really at all. And I always knew that I wanted to leave eventually, and it happened more with Montreal, where I moved first. But still, there was something. It was a little slower on the outside, and then I came to New York, and I was like, "Whoa, this is the first place that is actually challenging my internal inner rhythm." And there was this immediate sync with the city in that way, and that was so exciting to me. That was really, really exciting to me. And I believe that that's really true. And I think if you find this match, then you can really thrive and do your work, and even if it's hard. But I'm a racehorse internally most of the time, and New York is that, all the time. It's just happening, and I love that. But it's not for everyone. I get that. It works for me, and that's why I'm here. And I thought that's when people ask, they often ask, why are you here? Like, you get so much support there. You get healthcare and free education and all of these things, and it's true. They have a great safety net, and it's a great place in many, many ways. But it's if that match doesn't really work, I personally feel a little, I don't know, I feel like I can't fully be me. And when I came here, that happened more, and it's happening every day. So yeah, doing that. Maybe it's about listening. It's always about listening, in a way. So listening to your inside and the city, and then realizing where does that meet, where does it not meet sometimes. But I think so much is about listening, actually. And the city always gives sound. We don't even have to produce it or make it happen. It gives us so much. And it's sometimes, especially if you're a musician or work with sound, it's sometimes about uncovering those sounds that are already there, more so than having to produce them. I find that's so clear here somehow. I learned that here, really. Yeah. So let's listen. Yeah. I am an interdisciplinary artist, and I mostly work within performance art. I'm an improviser as well. I work sound art, installation art, experimental theater as well, music theater, all very much in the avant-garde experimental world. And my focus is the voice and movement. Those are my two main instruments. And yeah, that's in all these kind of combinations what I'm exploring. And I'm always really excited about the in-between. So always trying to find these in-between places where art forms meet, where people meet, really, of different disciplines sometimes. I want to just break up all the boxes and just live in the in-between space. And that's what I'm into. And when that happens, to me, that's total magic. That's really when magic can happen. Can also happen within the boxes, but it's sometimes rarer for me. It's more exciting, the in between, and that's what I seek out, and that's where I work usually. And I mostly find that within the music scene here, especially the experimental music scene, and also installation art and performance art in the visual arts world for sure. Yeah, and even in dance, even in theater, it's there, you know, and just it's a lot about the people. It's a lot about the people, and sometimes we forget, I think, that it's so much about the people, really. And I love working with people. That's also a big part of who I am, and what I do, and definitely improvisation is a huge, huge element, which then connects again back to listening, right? So sometimes so much more about listening than doing improvisation. It comes out in improvisation sometimes more than in a more set or more structured or composed form. But yeah. What I was doing at the Austrian Culture Forum was I was doing an a cappella. So that means just voice, unaccompanied voice. In the space. So I work a lot with space and architecture. Space is very, very important to me. And so, you know, sometimes I play in the streets, and sometimes I play in concert halls, and sometimes I play, it's just in little theaters or little basements or whatever. It's just, every space gives us so much information and sound and texture. And for me, it's about getting kind of in sync with that. And again, this is about listening for me. And what I was doing there was, I call it space activation. So really listening to what's there, and then my voice interacting with that, or uncovering the sounds so that they're more audible, maybe. The sounds that I'm perceiving that might be, you know, maybe they're not even sounds, I don't even know. Maybe they then transform into sounds. But that's beautiful, and I think, and if I'm in a more band setting, or if I work with instrumentalists, for me it's very important as a singer that the instruments they're not my accompaniment. Like, I would never think that way. That, to me, I'm just one element, I'm one instrument, and we're equal. And, you know, at times people have their solos or moments or duo moments or whatever, however big the band is, or the setting is. But everybody's equal, and that's to me very important. That it's not about the voice, because the voice immediately draws attention, of course. And so I also work a lot in the nonverbal. I kind of create my own languages in the moment. I work a lot with made-up sounds and languages. I guess there's no made-up sounds, but sounds that come to me and then form into verbiage or like words that might not mean anything, or might mean something in a different language. I don't know. But yeah, just, you know, just kind of found sounds, found words that transform into this almost gibberish-esque land. And kind of bathe in that a little bit. So, yeah, I think that's also a big part of my work in particular. Nanni sarine kurina husiseita mauza ri asundi wasayu sayunde firuan yusayu Carinho, 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 nascido do Aiciande, Ansiande, Aritisi Agnisi Arne, Amni Sauruia, Hasi, 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 Hasias, Hamni, Hamasi, Kirinu, Hanne, Usiane, you are Karin to say, you are new, is you new, is you are new. Thank you.